Back here on Longhorn Weekly, Isaiah Taylor, our special guest. I always ask freshmen about the biggest adjustment. We talked about the mental game. Yeah. What about the adjustment from high school life to being a college student, how that's gone for you?
For me, going down to Houston, me being from California, and the transition from high school from California to Houston and me being on my own, it wasn't that big of an adjustment for me.
So I guess what we should do is back up and get you to tell a little bit about how does a guy from, Hayward, California, in the Oakland area, why the decision to go to the Village School in Houston and finish out your high school career there?
In California, I was doing the same thing that I was doing in Houston, playing the same game that I was playing. But I wasn't getting the looks that I wanted to, the basketball. So like Cal, USC, UCLA, none of those high major schools were looking at me. So I decided just to make a change and just to go to Houston. So I went to Houston, did the same thing. Kind of, not in a sense blew up, but kind of in a sense just got some looks that I wanted to and got some national exposure. And that's
how did the Village School help your game?
The Village School helped my game a lot. In Texas basketball from California basketball, it was a lot more discipline. They demanded a lot out of you. So just that aspect in itself helped me a lot.
Now, we were joking about your hair earlier, but your hair was a lot different before you got here, wasn't it?
Yeah, I had dreads. A lot of people refer to them as braids, but I chose to cut them off because I knew I was going to come down to Texas and it was really hot here. And me already being in Houston for 2 years, I knew it was very hot. And I knew the workouts were going to be tough for me to handle, especially coming in as a freshman. So I wanted to cut my hair off. That was one of my main reasons for cutting my hair off.
And you probably knew Coach Barnes was going to give you grief about it?
Yes. Talking to TJ Ford a lot, he told me that Coach Barnes did give him grief about his braids when he had them. So yes, that was one of the reasons too.
But then you follow through like the good student athlete that you are, and you cut off your hair, cut off the braids.
Yeah.
And he still gives you grief about your hair. He says you look like a rooster now.
Yeah, he actually said I look like a rooster now. I'm trying to go with the kind of mohawkish look, but yeah, he still gives me grief about it and still makes funny jokes. So
I get the feeling, obviously, the chemistry, and I watch you guys when we're on the road, when I see on the practice floor, shoot-arounds, and of course for the games, that you're developing a really good bond, not only with Coach Barnes but with all of the coaching staff.
Yeah. I'm very close with all the coaching staff. The coaching staff has really helped me through the whole process of just leading the team and just developing as a player. So the coaching staff has helped me, and also with all the other players.
It is always a challenge for a point guard who is a freshman to be able to take on everything that a point guard is asked to do, because it's a leadership, it's a quarterback on the floor type of thing. But for a freshman, sometimes that can be a challenge. For you, it seems to have fit pretty naturally for you. How does that work for you?
I've been a point guard my whole life, typically a pass-first point guard. And up here, I think that the Texas community, they also see me do like a lot more shooting than probably expected. But Coach Barnes has demanded that I attack the basket. So just attacking the basket in itself has opened up the floor for me and opened up the floor for a lot of other players. So that's helped me a lot. You
mentioned TJ Ford. Have you stayed in pretty regular communication with him to talk about the transition into college and playing for Coach Barnes?
Yeah, TJ Ford's a great mentor. When I first stepped foot on this campus, I called him and asked him, what does Coach Barnes demand out of his point guards? And he's told me a lot of things. He's told me that he demands that we lead the team. So I just trying to embrace that role just as I go along.
Do you have also a developed bond, say, with your fellow freshman guards, with DeMarcus Croker, with Kendall Yancey, with Martez Walker, to have those guys, since you're all kind of going through it together?
Yeah, coming in, when I wasn't here the first summer school session, I called Kendall constantly, asking what were the workouts like, how's Coach Barnes, how are the teammates, do they like you, stuff like that. And he basically just told me that my teammates and the coaches supported him throughout his struggles, throughout the grueling workouts, just throughout everything, even through his ups and downs in the summer. DeMarcus Croker and Martez Walker were all going through the same thing. Since we weren't here the first session, we came in late. And Kendall, DeMarcus Holland, and just basically all the other teammates has just helped us through the process.
Has it also been a little bit easier for you to adjust to college basketball since you're still in the state of Texas? But I mean, being from California, you had to make that adjustment going to Texas and being just 165 miles away from where you were playing high school basketball. Has that eased the transition for you?
It has eased the transition because in Texas, I say it's a lot more demanding. People take sports a lot serious out here. So coming to the University of Texas, it was a big transition for me, but just having that point of discipline and coming up here just really helped me. So,
you know, you've only had one semester at UT, but what do you like most right now so far about being a student at UT and being a student athlete overall?
Just being a student athlete, how the Texas community just embraces you. Walking around campus, not everybody knowing your name, but everybody like knowing who you are. It's just teachers or other professors saying hello. Just when you walking in class, professors telling you that that you had a good game and stuff like that. So I really enjoyed that aspect.